Hello, what is up? So I didn't expect to do this video, but I've just jumped on the AMD system. I literally already had hardware ray tracing on because I did do a video on the 4090 with using DLSS 4, and to my surprise, ray tracing actually looks better on the AMD side. So I thought, well, that's interesting. So it's not completely perfect, but it does look a lot better than it did on the 4090. So if you look at the knife she's sort of juggling, there is definitely a bit of noise when like she's throwing that knife up, but everything else looks a lot better than it did on the 4090 using DLSS 4. So this is what I mean about AMD. They literally surprise you, and my theory is FSR 4 is possibly doing a better job. That's what I think. So it's definitely not as noisy. I'm not going mad. I mean, I did look at my other video, so you can check it out for yourself. I did do it the other day. But yeah, I mean, given it's not even, I mean, you're not getting a bottleneck on the 9800X3D anyway, so it will depend on your CPU. But I'd say generally it runs better on AMD. So there's more reason to use it on AMD than there is Nvidia by the looks of it. And even when I'm turning hardware ray tracing on, I'm not losing much FPS at all. I think it was like a couple of FPS. I actually lose more FPS when I put the global illumination to very high. So on the 97XT, I just put it to high. On the 4090, I've been using very high. But as I've said before, I said this in my first video, AMD struggle more with a global illumination because that's just the reality. I think it's different to Nvidia's, but I mean, it's definitely, you get over 60 FPS, but I would rather a higher frame rate, and I'm just going with quality, or I could have gone balanced and could have gone very high global illumination, but I found I'm just losing more FPS at the very high. But yeah, I mean, ray tracing on, you don't lose much FPS at all. It looks very similar to me. So the main reason I've not even tried it much on the 97XT. When I'd done my first video on this game on the channel, I just didn't. I literally had it off. I tried it for a bit in the first level, but I just had lower expectations compared to the 4090. So I've been trying it more on the 4090 because, let's face it, it's Nvidia. They market the ray tracing and all that, so I should be able to use it. Although I haven't been, I've just literally been going with the software RT because, and I'll do that, to be fair, I'll do that in a lot of games, even on the 4090, but I've just been trying it out of curiosity. So I haven't really looked into it deeply, playing it on the 97XT. I just assumed if it looks bad on the 4090 with ray tracing on, then it would look the same on the on the 97XT, but I really do think FSR 4 is doing a better job. And it just looks cleaner. It looks a lot cleaner. It doesn't look as grainy when you're looking at the shadow of this character. To the right, also, it was grainy, I noticed in my other video. So, I don't know. I mean, that's all I can think. Is DLSS 4 might not be as good as FSR 4 in this game when the hardware ray tracing is on anyway. I'd say everything else, I haven't really noticed a difference anywhere else, but definitely with ray tracing on, it looks like there is a difference. So I can, as I said, I can put global illumination on, and I'm getting just over 60. I could go balanced if I wanted, but at the end of the day, I don't really care much about global illumination being at the very high on AMD, because I know it's something they struggle more with than Nvidia, because it's obviously early in the development for ray tracing, although it does depend on the game. But then I'm really happy with the usage on the AMD side. I'm not getting bottlenecked, whereas I am on the Nvidia as soon as I put hardware ray tracing on. So I would say it's definitely a lot easier on the eye on the AMD side, although I would say it is cleaner with hardware ray tracing off. So I probably wouldn't recommend it still, and it's going to depend on like the CPU you got and all that. I just thought it was a worthy upload because that is very interesting. That I didn't expect this to happen. That for me to think, well, that it looks better. Ray tracing actually looks better on AMD. So that's interesting. I mean, I never thought I would say that. So yeah, I mean, like I said, AMD are meant to be terrible at everything, but then they surprise you, and that's what I like about them as well. So I've got to be fair. I've got to show the differences. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.